It's probably been a pretty chaotic few days for some of you. You've probably heard by now about the CrowdStrike and Microsoft incident that occurred last week in the early mornings of Friday, July 19. If you were flying this weekend, it may have been pretty bad. If you work in or rely upon any one of about half of the Fortune 500 companies or anyone else that leverages CrowdStrike, you may have had a pretty bumpy weekend as well. And then to all of those that work in IT that worked so hard to find the root of the problem, develop an update, and get it rolled out to the machines, I really do salute you. To everyone else, I think it's important to recognize while this was not a cyber attack, it does allow us to use the same lessons learned process and see what we can do to improve our own resiliency. To summarize real quick, CrowdStrike distributed a faulty update to their Falcon sensor product early Friday morning. Short time later, they realized that it was causing some problems to Windows systems, and they reverted that content. So if your machine hadn't been rebooted before then, it was probably okay. Shortly after, Google and many others had identified that it was in fact the Falcon update that caused a lot of these issues, and CrowdStrike confirmed that and started working on and released a workaround and a remediation to fix those systems. And then tons of people got busy applying those and restoring systems that they couldn't. So one of the things that we can take away from this is how we apply updates to our systems. And here at Axxys, we like to utilize a three-phased approach. So we start with a test group. That test group is a representative group of systems that can tolerate some downtime, but also give us a good idea of what the system as a whole looks like. And so we apply those updates immediately as soon as they're available. We then wait 7 days before we apply those to the next group, which is our pilot group, a little larger group, a little more representation of systems and software and operations. And if all is good, after those 10 days, we start to apply to everyone else in our production group. And this process just allows us a couple of breakpoints to where we can stop an update from being rolled out, or at least apply some additional fixes if it's needed before it gets there. And so how do we go about identifying those critical systems or those test and pilot group members? One way is through a business impact analysis. And so if we understand the systems and the software and the processes that go into the business operations, we can start to break those down by priority and select machines strategically that give us a good example of the operating system as a whole in the organization. And then we can start to break those down into this test, pilot, and production group to roll those updates out. I would expect a lot of our upstream partners to take this experience from last week and really work on and improve their own internal processes. But this is a great reminder that these systems are fallible, and we have to continually evaluate the business impact of the tools and the systems to our daily operations. And where that business impact is high, we really need to make sure that we consider how we can improve the resiliency across the board so that if the unexpected happens, we're ready and we can respond quickly. I hope your upcoming week is successful and uneventful. If you need anything, call us here at Axxys. We're here to help. Thanks so much.